Practice number 4, the power of forgiveness. So I'm sure most of you have heard the phrase, the power of apology. Well, we're concerned with the power of forgiveness, regardless of whether or not there has been an apology offered up. So as human beings, we're biologically hardwired to forgive. It's just embedded in our DNA. But we often find it quite difficult and quite challenging to forgive someone. And that's probably because it's in conflict with another one of our desires, which is the desire for revenge. That's another standard issue of human nature. But why is it so important to embrace a level of forgiveness? Well, decades of research have proven that if you have the ability to forgive others who have caused you harm, you systematically reduce personal distress and you foster your own level of happiness. Right? Researchers at the University of Miami have discovered a direct link between forgiveness and an increased level of satisfaction in life, higher levels of positive emotions, lower negative emotions, and fewer symptoms of physical illness. So there's lots of research to prove that this is one we should be embracing if we want it to have an impact on our overall level of happiness, right? But how do we forgive? So first of all, it's important to understand that we're not simply, blindly reconciling with someone and resolving them of any responsibility, right? It's more a matter of reckoning with the harm that someone's perpetrated against us and shifting that sense of blame, right? So first off, we have to have an acceptance. We have to accept that there's been wrongdoing. Secondly, what we want to do is move away from that desire of punishment and revenge. And thirdly, we have to move towards that person, not necessarily physically, but in a mental capacity. Because what we often do is we'll just turn from that perpetrator and say, I want nothing to do with them. I want them out of my life. I want to forget about them. Well, actually, we should be doing a 180 and we should be moving towards them in a mental capacity, right? And lastly, what we want to try and do is increase our level of compassion towards that person. It sounds a little bit strange, but effectively what we want to try and develop is a sense that the person who's harmed you may have harmed you out of their own suffering or misguided intentions. And we understand that and we feel a level of compassion towards that person, okay? So here's the practice. It's called the habit of forgiveness. Basically, you're going to try and develop a habit for forgiving people consciously and, as often as you can, making that effort to forgive in a reactive fashion, right? So first of all, it's important to embrace that this can be a long and difficult process. Chances are this isn't just going to happen at an instant, right? It might take some time and, everyone forgives at their own pace. So what you have to do is you start by making a list of people who have, hurt you deeply enough to warrant a level of forgiveness. Now, you can either put that list in your head or you can write it down. And when you're ready, make the decision to forgive them, right? Extend an act of mercy towards that person who's hurt you. Try and reduce the resentment towards the person and offer up that level of mercy, right? So effectively what you're trying to do here is relate some level of kindness, respect, generosity towards the person who's harmed you in the past, right? And like I said, don't expect this to happen overnight. It might take some time. And once you're comfortable doing that and you feel that you're kind of at peace with whatever happened in the past, try this practice in a reactive fashion. So if somebody wrongs you or causes you harm, try to forgive as quickly as you can. Again, it might not happen instantly. It might take a couple of days, and then you should be in the habit of forgiveness, okay? That's the whole plan here. Good luck with that one.